Hey everyone, my name is Emily. I'm a certified health coach with HealthMed, and today our Lunch and Learn topic is on muscle mass. So today for our objectives, I want to discuss the importance of muscle mass, some keys to building healthy muscle, the importance and effect of diet and exercise on muscle mass, how to create your own strength training circuit, and a little bit on rest and recovery as well. So why is muscle mass important? Muscles are the largest component of your total lean body mass, which is basically everything that makes up your body except for fat. In fact, our muscles usually account for about 50 to 60% of our total body weight. And as we age, we naturally lose muscle. Once we hit 40, we can lose approximately 8% of muscle per decade, and this can almost double after the age of 70. And muscle loss can be accelerated by illness and can lead to an increased risk of falls and fractures and delay recovery from illness. So it's really important to do what we can to protect and preserve our muscles, especially as we age. So some of the key benefits to healthy muscle include reduced risk of injury. Like I said, the more muscle we have, the more protected our bones are. It can help to reduce the risk of chronic disease, including obesity and heart disease and type 2 diabetes. It also does wonders for maintaining your weight and body composition. The more lean tissue you have, the easier it is to stay active and maintain a healthy weight. Also, in our muscles, that's where we store key nutrients, including glycogen. And having more muscles often means you can process more dietary carbs efficiently and utilize your calories better. So you can eat more calories and process your food more efficiently. So these are just a few of the key benefits to healthy muscle and a few of the reasons why we should be working to build our muscle, maintain our muscle, especially as we age. One thing that I think is important to note is that muscle quality matters. So just having more muscle does not always lead to health benefits. It is possible to have a large amount of muscle without having improved strength and body composition, such as in the case of obesity. So obese individuals are capable of having more muscle than others, but often suffer from poor muscle quality due to lack of exercise and lifestyle factors. So if you look at the picture to your right, you notice the larger person does have more muscle mass, but the reason for this is because they have to carry around that extra weight. So it's not necessarily a good thing in that case. So that's why it's key to focus on overall body composition, healthy lifestyle, strength training, and not just gaining muscle mass alone, but gaining it in a healthy way. So how can we build muscle? Muscle responds to calories, protein, exercise, and rest. And the balance of these key components can determine how efficiently you can gain muscle. So in short, to promote muscle growth, you need to eat more calories and protein, train your muscles, and allow time for recovery and rebuilding of tissue. This explanation is drastically simplified, and muscle growth does tend to be really complex. But the amount of muscle you can actually gain and how quickly is determined by many factors, including genetics, food choices, training level, and hormones, as well as starting body composition. So in the previous slide, we briefly discussed some factors that affect muscle growth. Some of those being things that we cannot control, like genetics, but others that we can control. So that's what I want to focus on right now. Things that we can control to help us build muscle. And the first one is diet. So when it comes to gaining weight, changing our weight at all, the amount of food you eat is the most important thing to consider. Eating more calories than you burn will lead to weight gain, but the type of weight you gain, either muscle or fat, can be heavily influenced by the quality of your calories. And the best foods for muscle growth are not drastically different from the foods that make up a generally healthy diet. Thus, any diet high in lean proteins, healthy fats, whole grains, and nutrient-dense fruits and vegetables is a great start. Another really important part of a diet is the amount of protein you're able to consume each day. Protein intake has a direct correlation on your body's ability to build muscle, since it's the most important nutrient involved in creating healthy muscle tissue in the body. And loading your muscles without refueling them, that's going to put stress on your body without visible results. So That's another reason it's really important to get that protein in to really help build those muscles, especially after a workout. And the recommended range of protein intake is between 0.8 grams per kilogram of body weight to 1.8 grams per kilogram of body weight. But it does depend on many factors. So I do recommend you can go to Google somewhere on the internet and calculate your protein needs for a more accurate number. Often you'll take a quiz that asks about your activity level, your age, your gender, your diet, things like that. And based on that, it can give you a pretty accurate number of how much protein to shoot for each day. So again, diet is a really important part of helping to maintain and build muscle mass. So now I want to touch on strength training. Why is strength training so important for building muscle? We've all heard this, right? Well, it may seem counterintuitive, but muscle tissue is actually built when our muscles are placed under intense strain through exercise. This strain causes microscopic tears in our muscle fibers, and when they get repaired, new fibers are added, which over time will end up increasing the size and density of the entire muscle. But building muscle doesn't require you to spend hours in the gym moving around heavy weights. You can receive health benefits of strength training from just a 15 to 20-minute session. The CDC suggests that adults engage in at least 2 strength training sessions per week, along with aerobic exercises that raises their heart rate. And as it turns out, just about any type of strength training can lead to muscle growth. Now, there are 3 main types that you want to consider. 1 is body weight, 2 is dumbbells, and 3 is barbells. And one of the most important things is to find a form of training that you enjoy. Many people associate the idea of resistance exercise with heavy barbells and dumbbells, and while these tools are valuable, they're certainly not the only way to promote muscle growth in the body. So you can engage in basic body weight exercises like push-ups, pull-ups, squats, and other movements that require little equipment. The key is to just find a routine that you like and then stick to it consistently. So a couple tips here. You want to build a good foundation. If you're new to lifting or training, you probably don't want to go into the gym and just start throwing around the weights until you know what you're doing. Even many advanced lifters can benefit from going back to the basics every now and then. So you want to focus on the range of movement and flexibility, make sure you have the correct form and things like that. Another thing is to focus on the training volume rather than how heavy you're lifting. The longer and more often you can stress your muscles, the more effectively your training is. And the number of recommended reps depends on how the exercise is for you, how hard it is. So you just want to start by doing as many reps as you can with good form. That's an important part. Another tip is to increase the load progressively. This is a must for all fitness levels if you want to stimulate muscle growth. As you get stronger, you can choose harder exercise variations or do more reps. And just as a good rule of thumb, if you can easily do more than 12 reps, it might be a good time to consider a harder exercise or variation or including more reps. And lastly, focusing on a slow, controlled descent is good for feeling your muscles burn. The eccentric part of the movement puts more load on your muscles. So try to count 3 seconds as you go down slowly. For example, with a bicep curl, count to 3 as you're going down just to get the most out of that movement. So again, strength training, also another very important part of building your muscles. I think we can all agree that we're living in a world full of challenges. With COVID-19, we're experiencing limited access to gyms and classes, which can make exercise even more difficult. So one thing I wanted to talk about today is how to create your own at-home workouts, specifically through circuit training. So what is circuit training? It's a type of workout that cycles through 5 to 10 different exercises. And the exercises target different muscle groups with minimal rest in between. And then you repeat the sequence 3 to 4 times or just whatever works best for you. And there's a lot of great benefits to circuit training. It is a really efficient combination of building strength and burning fat. The short rest between stations is designed to keep the heart rate elevated and help to build your endurance. It's really good for all fitness levels because exercisers can go at their own pace. It emphasizes functional strength, which trains your muscles to work together and includes common movements for daily life. And of course, it can be done in a short amount of time, which appeals to a lot of people because we're in a society where we don't have a ton of extra time. So that can be really great, and it's something that can be done at home. So now I want to go over how you can create your own circuit workout at home. Every circuit training sequence is different, but all of them have a few things in common. Number one, they include various exercises that hit the upper and lower body. They include very little to no rest in between each exercise, and then usually about a minute of rest in between each circuit. And then number three, they include repetition. A good circuit routine should have you run through the circuit a few times. So step one in creating your circuit is to pick your time limit or choose the number of rounds you're going to do. Circuit training is based on a set of number of stations that you repeat until you're out of time. Ideally, the workouts are around 10 to 45 minutes. So know how much time you have to work out because it will help you determine how many circuits you'll need to do and how hard you'll need to work. For example, if you know you will only have 10 minutes to work out, you can set up 4 stations, do 30 seconds at each station, very minimal rest in between, and then repeat the circuit 4 times. Step 2 is to pick an upper body exercise. As you may remember, circuit training is about variety, doing an arm exercise for one station and then a lower body exercise for the next, and so on. Now you can either choose a different upper body exercise to perform each round, or you can keep it simple and just pick one to repeat throughout the entire circuit. There's definitely no wrong way to do it. It's just a matter of personal preference. Just keep in mind that choosing different exercises for each round will help you target various different muscle groups in your upper body. Also, keep in mind what you have in hand and keep in mind of your training goals. If you're at the gym, you'll have more equipment to work with, such as dumbbells, kettlebells, and barbells. But if you're at home, you might not. So pick an upper body exercise that you're capable of performing and ones that are going to be the most effective at targeting the muscle groups you want to tone. Now, there are plenty of examples of upper body exercises you can do that don't require any equipment, and I'll include some of those in the next slide. Step 3 is to pick a lower body exercise. This is going to be the same as picking your upper body exercise. You can change up the exercise each time through the circuit or just keep it the same. So pick an exercise based on the equipment you have and again, the muscles you want to tone. Step 4 is to pick a compound exercise. Compound exercises are movements that require several muscle groups and joints to work at the same time. They're usually total body movements that really get your heart rate up, which is needed to burn fat. A few examples of compound exercises are mountain climbers, burpees, and jumping lunges. Step 5 is to choose a sprint for 1 minute. The key to burning fat is short bursts of activity or sprints. They're typically cardio exercises that really elevate your heart rate. Keep in mind that you really have to go all out for these exercises. A few examples of cardio exercises you can do without equipment are running, jumping rope, cycling, and jumping jacks. Step 6, the final step, is to rest. Keep your rest period to about 1 minute, grab some water, switch up your music, and then go through the circuit as many times as you want. As always, before doing any type of workout, you want to warm up. Every circuit training routine has something in common. It'll work out your entire body. So warm up by doing some body weight movements like jumping jacks, leg swings, body weight squats, push-ups, etc. So here I just wanted to include some exercises that you can choose from to build your own circuit. I included some upper body, lower body, compound exercises, and cardio exercises, and then I also listed what muscle the exercise works. So you can really create something that aligns with your goals. Of course, you're not limited to these. There's tons of exercises out there that you can also include and really just build something that's your own. So I wanted to give you an example of a circuit workout. So here we're starting with the shoulder press for 30 seconds, and that's working your upper body. And then we're going into this forward stepping lunges, which is a lower body exercise, to bent over row, which really works out your back. Burpees, that's a compound exercise, full body. And then your jumping jacks, which is your cardio exercise. So as you can see, you're really hitting a full body workout here in a very short amount of time. And once you complete the circuit, you'll rest for about 30 to 60 seconds before you repeat. And then after you're finished with the circuits, you can do a little cool down, either a 5-minute walk or some static stretching to just allow your body to relax and cool down from the exercise. I also wanted to share some exercises that you can do for your back. Some people might have back pain or want to prevent back injury on the job, and these are just some good exercises you can put together in a circuit to really help strengthen your back and your core and help to prevent injury further on. So here you'll do a 5 to 10 minute warm up with 5 minutes of stretching to just prep those muscles for the exercises you're about to do. And then you can choose about 3 to 5 exercises to work out. And you can choose from the list below, or there's more out there. But these exercises will specifically hit your back muscles and help you to strengthen your back. Lastly, I want to discuss rest and recovery. So fitness and diet aside, physical recovery is also a really key part of muscle growth, especially since most of the actual growth occurs during periods of rest. And muscle recovery involves the removal of lactic acid and hydrogen and rebalancing of intramuscular nutrients and electrolytes. So taking time to rest and restore is a crucial step in building muscle. It can also help to improve mobility, range of motion, improve overall muscle health, and reduce the risk of injury. Also, incorporating low-intensity recovery workouts like stretching, foam rolling, and yoga teaches your nervous system how to relax and can also benefit you from building a strong foundation. Any mobility training may also allow you to train harder by achieving a deeper range of motion and get more out of your exercise. So, although it's a step that we want to skip, it's really important to pay attention to rest and recovery so we can build adequate muscle mass. So the bottom line is that gaining muscle requires commitment to both strength training and following an appropriate diet. You don't have to spend hours in the gym to build healthy muscle mass. You can benefit from just a couple of short sessions each week, but you do need to focus on some sort of strength or resistance training in order to build muscle. You should find a form of exercise that you enjoy. This way you're more likely to stick to it, and it just makes things a lot more fun. And just keep in mind that a large increase in muscle mass will take time. So just stay patient and consistent, have fun with it, and you will see muscle gain as long as you stay consistent.